What up, YouTube? It's your boy Jarrell coming to you from Colossal Boxing Talk with WBA interim junior welterweight champion Maurrico Herrera. How you doing today, champ?
I'm doing good. What's going on?
Hey, I'm doing good. Can't complain. My first question is, I wanted to know, it's a two-part question. I wanted to know how is training camp going, and also who have you sparred with in preparation for this fight?
Well, the training camp is good. I have no problems. We've been going smooth. Training hard. Training hungry. That's the main thing. We're just motivated and excited for this fight. We've been switching out different sparring partners. We have some amateurs. They're pretty good. I don't know all of their names. We have Oscar Godoy. He's a professional with about 15 fights. He's tall. We're even bit tall, rangy fighters. This Saturday we'll be going to Indio, and there's OLD has a couple fighters over there. So don't know yet who will be sparring out there, but we're just bouncing around.
Okay, that's good to know that everything's going good. My second question is, I know that you fought a couple fights back. You fought Danny Garcia in a fight that many people thought you won, myself included. I wanted to know that looking back at that fight, do you think there's anything you would have done different, or you would have liked to done different to sway the judges in your direction, or are you satisfied with your performance?
I think looking at the fight, you can always do better. I think could have just took a couple more risks. Especially the other half of the fight. I watched it a couple times. But I thought I fought smart. Done enough to win. Being in Puerto Rico, maybe take a couple more risks. But then I think maybe if I would have took risks, would have went into what Danny wanted me to do, and just give up my style and give him room for a left hook or something. So I don't know. It's just sometimes I think maybe I should have, maybe I shouldn't. That's how it was in the ring. Just doing enough to win the fight. But if we fought again, like I said, I'd probably start off earlier and take it to him earlier and throw more punches. It was my first fight, so there was nerves there, being that it was a big fight for me. But I still felt comfortable in there, But I think I do everything just twice harder.
Yeah, I thought, in my personal opinion, from watching the fight, I thought you did more than enough to win. You're a more active fighter. You threw more punches, and you brought the fight to Danny, who seemed to couldn't get in a rhythm. He'll land a couple hard shots here and there, but overall, I think you bested him that night, and I thought that you really did deserve the decision victory.
Yeah, thank you. That's exactly how we felt. I don't think he was never really in the fight. He says he was trying to find his comfort zone. He never found that the whole night.
I definitely agree. And now my third question is, before this fight with Benavidez Jr. was made, trainer Freddie Roach said that you and Ruslan Provodnikov were in the negotiations to fight for a second time. Could you speak on a little bit of why that didn't happen? And is there any truth to the rumor that y'all guys were, actually in negotiations to fight?
We were gonna fight at I think the Bernard Hopkins card, but Ruslan's promoter was trying to take over control of the whole fight, all the money, and saying Provodnikov was a popular fighter out of the whole card, including Provodnikov and Kovalev. Mm-hmm. So they just didn't want to take the fight with the money they were being offered, and they wanted more than all the fighters on that card. So they couldn't come to anything, and so then Ruslan promoter moved on and then was trying to make a fight in Russia. So he turned us down for the Hopkins night, and then later they were talking about me fighting on another date, and then they started putting rumors that they offered I think $500,000, which wasn't true. When I saw that, I actually read up on the internet and saw that. No, I don't think that. I never heard of that. Yeah. So I went back to Oscar and Golden Boy and told them, hey, they're saying they offered me this much. Is that true? Well, if they're offering that much, we'll check it out. So they were offering they went back and tried to fix everything up, but it was less than that. And there's just a lot of things. There's IRS involved and tax deductions over there that you end up not even leaving with half of the money. So we couldn't make a deal.
Okay, so basically, it's like he priced himself out of the fight, or they were just lowballing you with their offer.
Yeah, it wasn't gonna be at the end. It was not gonna be that much, and so basically they didn't want to fight me in the Hopkins card for the money reasons, and then they did the same thing over there, and they didn't offer much either, and you know it's in Russia, like I said, and there would be another Puerto Rico night over there, so I mean it wasn't worth the risk, but like I said, I would love to fight Barack Wolf down here again, and I'm pretty sure it'll happen in the future.
I definitely would like to see the rematch because you were the first guy to give him his first defeat. My next question is, looking forward to this weekend's fight between Manny Pacquiao and Chris Algieri. I wanted to get your thoughts on that fight, and who do you have winning that fight?
You know, the more I watch it, I think Algieri can give Pacquiao some problems. You know, just being that his height, you know, and his movement. But I also see Pacquiao throwing so many punches that I know some are gonna land, and I know he's able to hurt. He'll be able to hurt Algieri. So I think towards the second half of the fight, I think Pacquiao will find a way to win.
Oh, well, hey, I'm definitely looking forward to the fight. There's something about Algieri that tells me I'm leaning towards him by the upset, but Manny
Yeah, it's a
Pacquiao.
tough call. Yeah, I keep going back and forth on it, like I said, but I just give it more a little bit. I go back and forth a little bit towards Algieri, I want to go a little bit towards Pacquiao, but Algieri just his movement. Pacquiao fought. What's his name? Josh Pilati.
Hmm.
I mean, we couldn't even get through his guard. Just him standing here. Now imagine that with Algieri moving around. I think it's gonna make it pretty tough for Pacquiao.
That's what makes this fight so intriguing because the height and length of Algieri, but you also got the speed, explosiveness, and power of Pacquiao, and you just never know when you get a guy like Pacquiao in the ring and back to his old form. But I'm definitely looking
Yeah.
forward to that fight.
Oh yeah, no. I mean, you see, if you see Algieri when he fought Ruslan, I mean, if he would pose in the ropes at times, but Ruslan would land one or two punches and then wait there, and Algieri would come in with a smother him or move around. With Pacquiao, he'll be throwing more than two punches. That's the only thing
Yeah.
that kind of changes my mind there.
Definitely. I also want to talk about another fight that may as well have your attention, being that these two guys that will be fighting this weekend are in your weight class, and that's a fight between Jessie Vargas and Antonio DeMarco. I know you're fully focused on Jose Benavidez Jr., but assuming you get by him December 13th, would you potentially be interested in facing the winner of that fight down the line?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I think Golden Boy. I think we were gonna. I was shooting for a Jessie Vargas or something like that, but I guess he got tied up with DeMarco. But I think that's an interesting fight. I mean, I think DeMarco's a tough guy, so I don't know who'll win that fight, but whoever it is, I mean, if they want me to fight him, we'll do it. I mean, I fight the best, the toughest guy is only the reason because it brings the best out of me. If I fight, a lower ranked opponent or opponent who's not well skilled, I kind of tend to fall towards their level. If I fight somebody, that's up there and has everything put together, it'll bring the best out of me.
I definitely agree. Like I said, you've been in some fights, some terrific fights with Kareem Mayfield, Provodnikov, Garcia. So we definitely know that you'll fight the best. Speaking of your current opponent, what are your thoughts on Benavidez Jr. and what do you see as his weaknesses and his strengths and what do you plan on, without giving too much of your game plan, what do you plan on attacking that you notice from watching on film that he doesn't do as well?
Yeah, I don't want to say too much because I know they're listening to every single interview that I'm doing.
Mm-hmm.
But I know that he's hungry. He's fighting for a belt. That alone will motivate him. He's a strong kid. He has you could say almost a whole package. Tall, likes to use his range. And those are his good points. He has a good jab. He's patient in the ring. That's what I've seen. But the fighters he fought, I questioned and looked them up, and I think compared to my style, I think he's gonna have some weaknesses because he never fought anybody like me. So I mean, he's not gonna be able to do, I think, the same stuff he's done to all the other fighters. I think he's gonna have to do something different and maybe something that he's not used to doing, or changing up his style or his way that he's used to. So I think that's going to be the test with him, you know, and it's also is going to be a mental thing in there. I think with him, you know, being that he's going to have 12 rounds to go and being his first big fight, you know, and his first real competitive fight it's going to be, you know, and I think all that's going to be playing in the mental thing and also test him, you know, in those later rounds. So there's going to be a lot of brand new things to him, you know.
I definitely agree. I know, you know, I look at this fight as, you know, you have an awkward style. You know, you cause problems for any and every fighter that you have fought and will continue to face. And you also had the big edge and experience. So I think him being 22 and kind of been struggling as of late, even though he was heralded coming out of the amateurs, I think that, you know, you have to tip your cap towards you going into this fight, but based off experience and your style and also what you've seen from him lately. So, you know, I'm looking forward to a good fight, and I can't wait to December 13th to see both of y'all guys in the ring.
Oh, yeah, for sure. That's going to be a great fight. You're going to see two of the most hungry fighters go at it, you know, on December 13th, and both of us want to win real bad.
I definitely agree. To my next question, like I said earlier, you've been in some action-packed fights throughout your career up to this point. I wanted to know who was your toughest opponent you fought so far?
You know, the toughest opponent I fought, and I think only because I made it tough, and went in with not with my being myself, you know, was Alvarado was a very tough fight. Mm-hmm. Only because I didn't choose to box. It was the first actual fight that we trained to go forward and to be aggressive, which was a mistake, you know, going in there. We ended up brawling with the guy who loves to brawl, you know, and that was a real tough fight. Yeah, here at Pavagnikov, I think I can say both of them together were my toughest fights in my career.
Definitely. That fight with Alvarado actually was a real good fight. You know, it was a close fight, and like you said, you probably, looking back on it, probably would prefer to box. You would have boxed if you get a rematch. You would probably do a lot of things different, but that was a great fight.
I think I just have to move just a little bit. That's it, not too much, just a little bit. I think I would have won more of the rounds. But then again, you know, I thought it was a close fight. But if you look at the judges' scoring, I think they only gave me one round. So either way, if I would have won some of those rounds of boxing, I think it was still meant. I think they were going to give him the fight either way. You know, being it was his promotion, his grounds.
Speaking of judges, what are your mind state going into fights? You know, obviously you're not a household name to, you know, casual fans, but to hardcore boxing fans, we all know who you are. And you know, this would be a fight you going into with Jose. Obviously, I look at you as the favorite, but he has the household name being like heralded as an amateur. And you look at Garcia and, like you said, Alvarado. What is your mind state going into fights like that when, you know, it's safe to say that, you know, the fight with Garcia, you were kind of robbed, in my opinion, of a victory, and also the fight with Alvarado where it could have, maybe you tip your hat that you lost that fight, but it could have been scored closer than what it was. What are your thoughts? Do you get like frustrated going into this fight? I mean, going into fights knowing that you're already battling not just the fighter in the ring, but also the judges and everything like that?
You know, at times I do. It is frustrating, you know, when I look back at that fight, you know, with Alvarado and some other fights where I felt were closer, or could have went either way, you know. But there's like not much I can do about it, you know. I just the thing that gets me by is, you know, comments and hearing the fans and people that are on my side, you know, and then the real judges, you know, who are the people. But going into this fight with Benavidez, you know, we have been thinking about the judges, and being that I am the only one on that card that's from Golden Boy, and the whole card is top rank, you know, and the judges and everything. But we're trying to make it a one-sided fight. I gotta win every round, you know, and not make it close for the judges, you know, because I know at any time, even judges, I can get easily robbed in that fight. And that's the thing. I try not to think about too much, you know, because I don't want it to throw me off in my game plan, you know, and start just, you know, just taking dumb risks and getting caught with punches. You know, I always got to stay cautious, you know, and tight with my defense. But I mean, if it seems close in my corner, will let me know. I will do what I have to do, you know, because I can't get being robbed. I don't want to be the fighter. You know, they talk about later, you know, that he got robbed of, you know, so many fights. You know, I want to be let everybody know who I am. I mean, there's a lot of fans that won't look up at Box Rick and look up what happened or who fought, and if I the true boxing fans don't know who really won my past fights, but there's a lot of people that will never even bother to check that out. So I do want to get a clean win,
I definitely agree, and I hope you know what I'm saying, if you're the clear winner in this fight and future fights with all boxers, I hope that these judges start getting it right, because as a fight fan, it really does, not just hurt the fighters. Of course, it hurts y'all, but to see two fighters, act, put their life on the line, and livelihood on the line, and see one guy clearly win and get screwed by the judges definitely makes you question, the sport you love so much. So hopefully these judges start to get their act right and start, really focusing on what they need to score these fights correctly.
Yeah, I hope they do. It's HBO, it's a big network, so I hope they don't do them wrong, and I hope they go in thinking they better score the fights right, because people start just not watching anymore, But like I said, I don't want to think about it too much.
Mm-hmm.
Don't want to get robbed again.
Yeah.
But we're gonna go out there with everything. I'm real hungry, motivated, and want to crack at the world title. So I'm gonna try to just give it my all. Win every round.
Okay, looking forward to it. Now, to one of my last few questions. Besides wanting a rematch with Danny Garcia, are there any other fighters that you would love to fight once you get done with the fight with Jose Benavidez Jr.? Or you just strictly focused on him right now? But
I'm focused on him, but I still think about other fighters. I'm not distracted of I'm training for Benavidez, but I can also think about other fighters. That's not going to distract me at all. But I did think about all the 140. I still going to fight at 140. So I would like a fight with Matisse. I think he can bring the best out of me. It's fighters like that can really can show off my skills. There's Boner. I think he can make me look good as well.
Okay.
There's a lot of fights at 140. I feel my style will give problems to most of these fighters out there.
I definitely agree. Like I said, you're an awkward boxer who's very talented, who's very tough, mentally strong. You're not the biggest puncher, but like I said, you're well conditioned and you're a very good fighter. My closing question is there anything you would like to say to your fans that's been following you and supporting you from day one?
Yeah, I just want to give thanks to all the fans. They've really been supporting me and making me feel real good. Ever since the Danny Garcia fight, they show me a lot of love, and I just want to give back to them always in every fight. Make them happy. I love boxing as well. I love watching great fights. December 13th, they're gonna see two hungry fighters put everything on the line, and all you can do is give them best show.
There it is. YouTube, this is WBA interim champion Maurrico Herrera. Tune in December 13th to watch him fight Jose Benavidez Jr. Live on HBO. We want to wish you the best here at Colossal Boxing Talk. We want to wish you the best of luck with the rest of your career. We wish you nothing but success. And could you do us one small favor and just give us a shout out?
Yeah, I want to give a shout out and thank Colossal Boxing. Thanks for this interview. You guys help all the fighters get out there, so thank you guys so much. Appreciate it.
Thank you for granting us some time, a few minutes of your time, and enjoy the rest of your night and finish up camp strong. And we look forward to seeing you December 13th on HBO.
All right, we will. Thank you very much.
All right, take it easy. And there it is, YouTube. Interview with Maurrico Herrera, WBA junior welterweight interim champ. Like, comment, and subscribe to Colossal Boxing Talk. Leave your comments in the comment section below. Tell me what you thought of the interview. And who are you picking in this fight, him or Jose Benavidez Jr.? Until next time, I'm out. Peace.